Hello everyone. Today I want to show you my homework 3, exercise 2.3. Write a C hash to control C++ language to count up 7 segments. First, let's look at the hardware we need. Every part is simple and easy to use. An Arduino Uno board, this is the brain of our project. A 7-segment display. It shows number 1 to 9. A breadboard to connect the components without solders. DuPont wire to link the display and Arduino. We connect Arduino to the computer with a USB cable. This cable does two things: power the Arduino and let C hash talk to it. Hardware connection. Now how do we connect these parts? Let's focus on the 7-segment display first. It has 8 parts called segments. Segments A to segments H. Each segment connects to the specific pin to an Arduino. Segment A to Arduino pin 2. Segment B to Arduino pin 3, segment C to Arduino pin 4, segment D to Arduino pin 5, segment E to Arduino pin 6, segment F to Arduino pin 7, segment G to Arduino pin 8, segment H to Arduino pin 9. The USB cable is for serial communication. This is how C hash sets commands to Arduino. Next, let's look at the C++ code on Arduino. The first part is simple setup. We include the Arduino H library. It helps control Arduino pins. We use define to give names to pins. For example, segment A stands for pin 2. This makes the code easier to read. We also define 2 buttons. Switch start pin 10 to start continue, and switch pass pin 11 pass or resume. To show number on the 7-segment display, we need a table called table. This table tells each segment to turn on or off for number 1 to 9. For example, to show number 1, some segments turn on, other off. The table stores this logical. We also have a segments error. It maps the display's segments to the table's order. Then there are global variables. It started checks if continue has started, true is yes, false is no. It passed checks if continues is passed, true is passed, false is wrong. Correct digital. The number correctly shown start at 0, which shows 1. In travel, the time between number changes 300 milliseconds, so it updates every 0.3 seconds. Setup function. The setup function runs once when Arduino turns on. It does 3 key things. 1. Set pin 2 to 9 for the display as output. Arduino sets signal to these pins. 2. Set the 2 button as input pop up. This means the button sets a low signal when pressed. Avoid actually rears. 3. Start stereo communication at 9600 bits per second. The speed C hash and Arduino used to talk. 4. Code display digital to show the first number when Arduino turn on. The display digit function makes the 7-segment display show a number. Here is how. It takes a digital which number to show like 10414142. It loops through all 8 segments. For each segment, it uses digital white to set the pin to on or off, following the logical in the table array. Buttons can have jitter force signal when pressed. The handle buttons function fixes this, called debouncing. It checks the button state many times. If the state stays the same for the short time, it's a real press. When switch start, button 1 is pressed. It started become true. Continue start. It pulls become false. Continue runs. When switch passed, button 2 is pressed. If content has started, it toggles it pass to resume to pass. The handle serial functions listening for comments from C hash. If it gets start, it starts containing same as pressing the start button. If it gets pass, it pass or resume continue, same as pressing the pass button. The loop function runs over and over like a circle. Course handle buttons checks if buttons are pressed. Core handle serial checks for C hash comments. 3. If containing is started and not passed, every 300 milliseconds, it update goes from 1 to 2 to 9 to 1. Called display digital to show the new number. This is Vision Studio code. Now let's move to C hash part. We use Vision Studio to make a Windows application with buttons and a common box. First, we include important namespace tools. System I/O ports. Let's C hash use the computer's serial port. Talk to Arduino. System Windows forms. Let us make the application Windows form with buttons. The Form 1 class is our application Windows setup or the control buttons common box we see on the screen. When the application starts from loads, this code runs. It find all serial ports on the computer, like COM3, COM4, and adds them to the combo box. If there are ports, it selects the first one automatically. The start and pass buttons are disabled at first. You can't use them until you connect to Arduino. The connect button lets us link the application to Arduino. If the serial port is not open, it sets the port name from the combo box and the baud rate 96000, same as Arduino. It opens the serial port. It enables the start and pass button. A message box pops up to say connected to port name, so we know it worked. These two buttons set command to Arduino. When you click Start, if the serial port is open, it sets Start to Arduino. A message box says Set Start. When you click Pause, if the serial port is open, it sets Pause to Arduino. A message box says Set Pause. These commands do the same things as the physical buttons on Arduino. Let's work through how to use the project step by step. Connect our hardware display to Arduino to computer via USB. Open the C# application in Vision Studio and run it. 3. Select Arduino serial port in the combo box, then click Connect. Click Start or press Arduino Start button. The 7-segment display circles 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 9 every 300 milliseconds. Click Pass or press Arduino Pass button. The display stops. Click again to resume. The effect is smooth. You can control the continue easily with either the C# application or the physical buttons. Now let me look this video. This is summary. To wrap up, the code of this project is communication. C# on the computer sends several commands to Arduino. Arduino with C++ code receives commands, controls the 7-segment display, and handles buttons. And in this exercise, I learned many things. First, I know how to control Arduino hardware with code. 2, I know how to make a C# Windows application to use several communication. 3, I know how host and slave work together. This is all my answer. Thanks for your listening. Goodbye.